Well, hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in or downloading or whatever you do these days. The It's in Queens podcast covering events in the borough between May 3rd and May 9th in 2018. As always, we have a great week ahead of us. And as always, my name is Rob Mackay. I'm with the Queens Tourism Council, and the extreme left, or your extreme right, would be none other than Chris Donovan from the Daily News, the show's co-producer.
You got it right this time.
I
Look
got
at
it.
you. This is
I
a
know.
big week.
This could be a good podcast. There might actually be some accurate information in this one.
Let's not get crazy.
Now, if anyone watched last week's podcast, we had somebody from QueensEats, which is the second most popular Instagram account that covers things in the borough. Today, we happen to have the most popular Instagram account operators.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, it is for the
it's true.
podcast sake.
Okay.
Yes.
I think from a number standpoint.
From a
yes,
number standpoint,
but I can't.
yes, most followers is what I meant. That's
Yeah.
what
Right,
everyone else understood.
Yeah.
Ashley,
Hello.
Brian,
Hello.
they live in
We live in Woodside.
Woodside, and Ashley, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
And Brian, you are in medical school.
I am.
All right, and you guys love food.
Well,
We really
the
do.
name of
You
the
know, I think
Instagram
we-
account, QueensEats. We didn't give that
No,
away.
I didn't do it. QueensEats is the name of the Instagram account. Kind of interesting because remember, last week it was Queenscapes, and we didn't know
Right.
if it was Queenscapes or
Right.
Queenscapes.
Right.
Here we have, is it QueenSeats?
Right.
Or is it
Definitely
Queens
Queen
Seats.
Seats.
Definitely
It's Queen
Queen
Seats.
Seats.
Yeah,
Queen
sure.
Seats, I like it.
QueenSeats. We
love
have Brian and Ashley from QueenSeats.
Foremost chair
Queen
experts in
Seats.
all of Queens.
Absolutely. Yeah, the pictures are all of the chair under the
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
It's like the
Holds
food
the food
baby,
really
but
well.
instead with a chair.
just the
How
chair.
many followers do you have since the...
Oh God. I think we're topping out at like 25, over 25,000, like 20, almost. We're getting close to 26,000 now.
Wow.
26,000 followers on Instagram.
That's pretty
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
And could you tell us a little bit about the Instagram account and what
how'd
can
it
we,
start?
what can we find when we go on it?
Go for it, husband of mine.
All right. So our account is pretty much just designed to showcase food and culture in Queens. It started out as a pet project where Ashley, who was born and raised here, took me from Connecticut, the doughy-eyed young man.
Fresh off the turnip
Who was
truck.
convinced
Absolutely.
right,
he did
yeah.
not like Thai food.
I didn't know anything about food.
Convinced.
She was just showing me around spots and made an account just to document the occasion and kept it public
By accident.
more
It
by
was an
accident than on purpose.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And just started, we saw new places, we went to old places, and it blew up. There was a niche, we filled it.
Yeah.
We're just really happy to be a resource, honestly, for the food and the culture that we find around Queens.
And what kind of photos are there? Is this pure, as we say, food porn?
Yeah. I mean,
This is
it's,
the
it's
kind
pretty
of
close
porn
to
that we approve of.
That's
Yeah,
right,
it
yeah.
is just
So it's
straight.
just a lot of
Family-friendly.
photos of the actual food and the drinks, or do you see the restaurants and the ambiance? My dad was big on ambiance. That's what we wanted. Any
I'm
restaurant,
big on
like, what's the
ambiance
ambiance like?
too, but I think I comment about it more. I think that Instagram is such a visual platform. You're only seeing something for like just a quick second, and now it's changing even more with Instagram stories.
Right.
Yeah, you guys
that
are big on the stories
We,
these
we,
days.
we
yeah.
are big
yeah.
on the stories.
Yeah.
Because I think QueensEats is now more of a passion project. It's about us, and that's really what it started as. It was like date nights for us,
Yeah.
and our friends were just tired of seeing it on our personal pages. So we started QueensEats just so we could remember where we wanted to eat next, and then also so our friends would not be annoyed with us. And very few of our friends, I feel like, actually follow us on QueensEats.
I know.
So,
So it's 25,000 of people you don't know.
Right.
yeah, the weird, my mom like didn't get it for a long time. She was like, I don't get why you're doing this. Like, it's weird. And then we like were in a restaurant one time, and a bunch of people like walked up to us and were like, oh my God, you guys are QueensEats. And my mom was like, does this happen all the time?
Wait, you didn't say no. We're Queen Seats.
No,
It's hard to correct people.
we try to just like introduce ourselves and be like, hi, I'm Ashley. He's Brian. Like, nice to meet you.
Very boring, weird people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
do you guys love to eat in Queens? Is
Yeah,
that what's
and-
God, yes. We don't go anywhere else.
No, we don't.
Very good.
People ask
That's
us like,
wow.
"Oh, you're gonna go to
What a
Manhattan?" And I'm like,
surprise.
"For someone's birthday, maybe."
But
Like,
you'll,
most
you'll
of
bring
the time,
food.
no.
You'll bring food.
If someone
from
took me to the
Queens.
Bronx, I would eat there.
Yeah,
but
for
Yeah.
sure. We go to the Bronx any day of the week.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Manhattan, no.
So tell us your favorite restaurants. You,
Oh God.
All right.
It changes a lot, and it changes.
that
I
depends
think.
on the mood, really, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And the weather. And,
Yeah, and
stuff
it's
like
definitely
that.
based on like the season and what's going on now and just like what we're in the mood for.
Absolutely.
Our big project right now has been this like QueensEats pizza list,
Ah.
which we on our website we have. People ask us like our favorite pizza places one time in a Q&A on Instagram, and so we got like really into it. And people were like, "You should put that on your website so people know where to go." So now we've done like 60 something pizza places
Oh
in
my
Queens. And
Well,
we're
what's
just, like,
number 1, 2, and 3?
Top 5.
New Park Pizza.
Ooh, New
In
Park
Howard
is up
Beach?
there.
Yeah.
New
I
Park
love
is up
New
there.
Park.
Yeah.
I'm a big sucker for New Park, but I was raised on Rosa's in Maspeth on 69th
Oh,
Oh,
Street.
with the
69th
sesame
Street.
seeds in the
No,
crust.
that's Joey's.
Oh, that's Joey's
Yeah,
on the
no,
other side of
Rosa's
the
is the
street.
other side of the
Ah,
street.
okay.
The place where they own like half the block.
Yeah.
Right.
They own
Yeah.
the place across the street. They own the building that they're in. Yeah, that's the slice I was raised on, which is a upside down Sicilian. So that's one of
okay.
nostalgically, that's like my favorite slice
Yeah,
in
of course.
Queens.
Okay.
If you could taste something and remember your childhood, that's
Like
always
I remember
good.
sitting in
Score
those
high,
pink
right?
booths
I
like
think the
every
nostalgia.
Christmas when
Yeah.
my cousins came. I have a lot of cousins that moved to Florida and some on Long Island, and we always go to Rosa's when everybody got off the plane
Yeah.
from JFK
Half the
or
time your
LaGuardia.
mom comes over, we still get roses.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. It's either Rosa's for my mom, Donovan's, or the Lowry. now.
Nice.
That's
The
like my
Lowry.
mom.
Oh, that's
my
a nice
mom
new place that
loves
opened
the
up in
Lowry.
Sunnyside.
Probably love the Lowry.
Yeah.
Donovan's is a
of course,
classic.
on 58th Street. Those are
course.
some of my friends actually that done it.
I
They
used to-
started out 14 years old as bar backs.
That's right.
Then they got jobs as bartenders. They
Yep.
were there for literally 25 years before they bought it.
I used to lie to my friends in high school that my family owned the place.
Oh, Donovan's,
but there
'cause
was
your last
a
name was
yeah,
Donovan.
but there was a rift in the family, and my grandfather doesn't talk to my dad. I just,
my
it
God.
literally was not true at all.
Just double down on
yeah,
the
oh
lie.
yeah, we just kept lying.
So your last name was Donovan's, but your mother's maiden name was McDonald's.
That's
So
right.
you said- wow.
They
what
got
to
the
do.
Big Mick. We got
All
the
right.
Big Mac.
Well,
Another Queens movie reference.
If there are too many good restaurants to talk about and too many good pizza places, just tell us what's the last thing you posted up on your website, up on the Instagram.
What did
Was
I
it,
post last night?
was it
I don't remember what I
night
posted.
market?
Or do you
Was
have
it
a
the night
favorite?
market?
Oh, so yesterday we went to the Japanese street fair, the Japanese Fest fair with 7 chefs. They flew out from Japan for the ramen competition
Oh, no
in
kidding.
Astoria.
Oh, wow.
It was really fun. We missed it last year, so we were like pretty determined to go this year. That one was awesome. And
So
it
you
had
love
So
ramen.
you got photos of ramen noodles up
Yeah,
there.
and then
Any
also-
soba? Any soba
Yes.
noodles?
There was,
'Cause
and it was
I'm
actually my
soba.
favorite
Yeah,
one.
you're a
yesterday.
soba guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and then
so
there were a
interesting.
couple of vendors who we're really good friends with from the Queens Night Market that were also vending at that event yesterday.
Ah,
Okay.
very
So we were
good.
there. We're always there.
Very
One of our
good.
biggest things is we end up being more friends, more so with vendors than with restaurant people, just
Okay.
because we see them on a more regular basis and they have
You're
a little bit more
literally talking to the
flexibility.
person
Right,
making
the
it.
guy who
Very good.
owns it, makes
Yeah.
the food, and he's the owner operator.
And like
sure.
super passionate about it and is there all the time.
That's right.
So- I do have a question. You're studying to be a doctor. What kind of a doctor are you going to be? Nutritionist?
I think I've let that boat sail away from me at this point. No, it's still up in the air for me. I'm dabbling with the thought of doing pediatrics. I love kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I'd love to work in the city if possible. And there's a lot of underserved communities in Queens and in New York in general. And
Sure.
Both of us have this whole thing where we want to be working in our neighborhood or at least
Yeah.
with the populations in our neighborhood.
Sure.
So of course I'm married to a teacher who
There you
also
go.
works with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I specifically work with low income people at Head Start.
We will
so
be the power
that's
couple of
kind
the
The
my-
future.
Head Start on 61st Street in Woodside, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, will you guys stay with us, please, while we go through
Sure.
the week's roundup? Maybe you can
Yeah, I
even
have
throw
follow-up
in
questions
some.
too at the end too.
You have
so I wanna
follow-up questions
Yeah,
for our
guests, absolutely.
our guests, our
Yeah.
panelists. What are you guys? Our
Guests.
our talent.
Bums that you
Our
let in the
talent.
door.
Our talent.
We are the people who brought pizza.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
We brought
that.
food, so you let us in.
Yes. So Action Bronson. Who knows about Action Bronson? Because this is
We
definitely
do.
a weak spot on me.
I'm coming up snake eyes on that role.
Action Bronson Bronson is going to be performing at Colden Auditorium at Queens College. Now,
Oh, that's awesome.
my understanding is that he's born in Queens, but he's Albanian extraction, and he is both a rapper and a food expert with a food TV show.
That's
Two
correct.
food TV
All
shows.
Two food. Okay.
Everything you said was right. Actually,
So tell me
Yeah.
about this guy. And he also has a beard like down to here, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's known for the beard.
He is known for the beard. He's known for many other things.
Yes,
I won't.
his-
You're not so family friendly.
Questionable
so I won't
lyrics,
Go there.
yeah.
Questionably legal
Questionable
things
legal
in New
things.
York.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
But
He celebrated 420 pretty hard. Let's put it that,
that
way.
yes,
So is this TV show any good?
both of his TV
Yeah.
shows are really
Great.
good. So he
Yeah.
has
Does he go to Queens restaurants?
yes, and you know
Okay.
his new show, which is the Untitled show with Action Bronson, shows off a lot of vendors too. So he has, I
okay.
think he has like a cookout space in like Brooklyn or something. But he invites a lot of the vendors that we have that we're friends with from the Queens Night Market.
Oh,
Okay.
So they cook out for him over
Fantastic.
there.
That's pretty cool.
And he
Yeah.
raps.
Yeah,
does.
that's
Is-
what
is
he's
he any
like.
good?
No,
That's
his
how he
thing,
made
yeah.
his name, and then he became like
then
a
he went into
personality.
TV.
I think
yeah.
that he had.
So
he's
this is
been in
going to
the
be
food
rap
industry a
music.
lot for a
This
long
show.
time.
This show at Queens.
He might be doing like almost like a Henry Rollins thing where he does a little spoken word, a little performance, and
boy.
talks to the crowd about like what's going on in his world. I think it's a kind of a mixture thing, and the best part about it is it's a sort of a secret show. Queens College was not allowed to sort of advertise it
I can
outside
imagine.
of the
Yeah.
college, so they're just trying to get the word out organically. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, but it's a nice get for Queens College,
Yeah.
He's a
All right. So
He's a relevant guy.
he'll sell out. Colin, where they're blowing.
well. That's we got to get the word out because they haven't
Yeah.
been able to promote it and advertise
okay.
it that
All
well.
right.
So yeah, if we can get
Well,
some
don't
people
worry,
there.
now
And
that
if you
you're
missed
on
it, I
this
guess you could
podcast,
probably
you're
always hit
gonna-
up Danny's House of Pizza. That guy's always there. I
Oh,
hear.
there you go.
He's always at after.
Danny's House of Pizza in Kew Gardens.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
I think
a
that's
nice
like
place.
his spot for the most part for
Is
pizza.
that on your list?
Yes,
Oh,
for
God.
sure.
Very good pizza. And on Tuesdays it's $1 a slice, right? Or did they stop that?
You know, I never make it there on a Tuesday,
yeah.
so
They had-
I
they had
couldn't
a-
speak to it.
They had a
currently.
Tuesday dollar slicing. All right. Now, anyone who watched this podcast 2 podcasts ago met a guy named Sami Abu Shameh sitting right where I am now. He's a Egyptian music artist, historian, and other things. He also runs a group called Zikrayat, which plays every kind of Egyptian music from belly dancing to scores from movies.
Yeah.
He will be on the stage at Flushing Town Hall, part of their mashup
that
series.
this Friday?
Yep. Which
Oh,
is to
look at
say,
that.
his group will play Egyptian music, and then a Haitian group called the Agochi
That's a
Band
mashup.
That is a
play,
mashup,
will
yeah.
play
Mashup.
Haitian compa music, which is not that much different from some of the Dominican rhythms.
Oh, Sharon
Seriously,
Island.
Sharon
There's
Island.
going to be
Queens.
some overlap,
And then the two of them will, after each one does a set, and then the two of them jam together.
That's right.
Awesome.
So
Again,
that's,
only in Queens.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so that's
Sammy was telling us sometimes people come up to him after the show and say, my wife is Egyptian, I am,
Oh, yeah,
Haitian,
that's right,
and
that's
like
right, that's
they,
right.
like it's a perfect match.
That's
so that's
awesome.
pretty
Chocolate
good.
and
That's a
my
pretty
peanut
good.
butter.
right.
I don't know how that relates to Queen's seats. Oh, the seats at Flushing Town
Flushing
Hall.
Town
I
Hall.
will
They're
say,
No one
open
actually
until
sits
you
there
fill
because
them.
everyone dances.
Flushing
during
Town
the
Hall
time.
is a gorgeous space.
It
It
is.
really
You're
is a
absolutely
beautiful
right.
space. We
Yeah.
actually was one of the places on the list when we were where we were trying to figure out where we were going to get married.
Nice.
It was a beautiful
And where did you
space.
get married?
At the Metropolitan Building in Long Island City.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
nice.
That's
Gorgeous
where
place.
you know what is. Do you know who else got married there?
A lot of people.
So many people.
Somebody whose initials are M.E. as in me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice place with the high ceilings. A lot of
Yeah.
African
I
weddings
thought your
there.
initials are RM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, moving right along. So on May 4th, the Museum of Moving Image starts a run called Panorama Europe, which they do every year. This one I think has 22 screenings of movies, both fiction and documentaries. Most of them are done within the past year, and the idea is to show sort of the modern day Europe, through the camera lens.
That was our obligatory mention of the Museum of the Moving
yes,
Image every week.
We can't go a week.
Can't go a week without mentioning
They have
them.
so much stuff
There's so
going
much
on.
stuff.
They do. They have a
They
ton
have-
of programming. It's great. I mean,
They-
it
I
keeps
love
us
their
busy.
programming.
Yeah.
Their public relations person, Tomoko Kawamoto, she can you tie her hands behind her back and hold her upside down. She can still write 3 press releases in a day. She's that good, and they need her over there. Cause anyway, that starts on May 4th, and then they're going to be showing movies straight through, until May 20th. So that kind of seems like something that I'm definitely going to look at the list, see what movies there are, and try and catch one because. you know, Europe is it's every year it changes. It's like it's changing as much as here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see what some of the visual artists
For
their
sure.
take on it.
Yeah.
Something that might be up your alley is Nosh Walks. Do you know Nosh Walks?
Yeah, we haven't been on one, but we've heard about it and we hear great things.
Yeah.
Nosh Walks is a company run by Myra Alperson. She does food strolling and tasting
crawls.
tours, food
Yeah.
crawls through different neighborhoods. She goes all around the boroughs, but she hits up Queens pretty hard. She was actually did Woodhaven last week. I think we talked about
Yeah,
it.
we
Yeah,
did.
I think you
Absolutely
guys
mentioned
mentioned
that. Yep.
This week
for
she's
her.
going to Ridgewood, where your father went to high school.
Yeah. Where my grandparents had their first apartment.
Where your
Nice.
grandparents
Yeah.
had their okay, and they're going to be hitting up German, Caribbean, Bulgarian,
sense.
Italian, Bosnian, Polish, and Peruvian cuisine.
Yep.
I think
Isn't
I
it?
know like
Sounds
half the
about
places
right.
they're probably going to
Yeah.
go
So
to.
yeah,
But isn't that great that you can do that in one
In one
neighborhood in
walk.
Queens?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I love about
what
it.
she
right?
usually does is she contacts everyone beforehand. You pay one price and then
Yeah.
you go in. But
Right.
she also gives you a map of all the different restaurants and where they are. So if you like something, you can
Go
use
back.
the
Go
map
back.
to go back again.
Sure.
So we definitely like that. And you know, someday she should comp you guys so you could take some photos from the Nosh Walk and put it up on your Instagram page so that almost 66,000 people could look at it.
Yeah, let him go with the numbers. It's
Okay.
fine.
I mean,
he does it all the
no,
time.
we have mixed things about comped anything. So
all right.
we have,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
we try to avoid it just for the sake of being
Transparent.
genuine and authentic.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
I see.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, you
That's
got to have
fair.
skin in the game, right?
That's right.
But I do have to tell you guys about something that actually is free.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
One of the best things in life.
It's a tree giveaway.
Hey now.
It's because of Arbor Day.
Giveaway?
Queens Botanical Garden tree giveaway. I'm going to have
Brian,
to
I
put on
would
my
like a
glasses.
tree.
Get
Oh
those
my
glasses
goodness.
going.
I would like a tree.
May 5th.
11 to 1. You can get a tree. Now, there are a couple of, you have to agree to do certain things, all right, to get this tree. Number one,
I hope it's
you
not
have to
weird.
agree- You have to agree
You
that you will water it and maintain it. You
All
have to
right,
do
all
that.
right. So
All right.
far,
Okay.
I'm in.
I can do
Uh-huh.
that.
You're with that? Okay, you have to agree to plant it in one of the 5 boroughs.
All
That's
right.
easy.
Let's say
Doesn't
Queens.
seem.
on
Doesn't
board.
seem. Yeah.
And you have to agree to plant it in, for example, a backyard or a community garden, not on a street or a public park.
Okay.
That's tricky, but
No, you can't. You're not going to.
not everybody has a backyard. I think that's the
Right,
tricky
but
thing
yeah,
about
community
it.
garden.
Yeah.
Or, all right, so that's
all makes sense.
that's
Yeah, I
Queens
mean, it's not as
Botanical
hard as
Garden.
it sounds. It's not that difficult.
All right, I think
you know what? If they would have said you have to plant it while wearing like a strange outfit, that would have been
The
weird.
rub
They
the
said
tree.
you have
Yeah.
to you have to climb.
You have
the
to wear
tree.
lederhosen and
Red polka dot galoshes
Right.
required.
Fast. Well, what about if a cat gets stuck in the tree, you have to climb up it.
that's right.
It's New York. The
So
worst is going to be like a
Absolutely.
plastic bag with a smiley face
There you
on
go.
it.
Yep.
So Cinco de Mayo, you can get a trio. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, look at that.
I can't say that will probably be my Cinco de Mayo plans, but okay.
I want to keep up with that, the walking theme and the tree theme.
Sure.
Combine them together. There's actually a walking
like a
tour
Reese's
of
peanut butter cup.
Flushing Cemetery.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
saw that.
And that is where you'll be doing the walking tour with a historian and 2 horticulturalists.
wow.
I have feelings about walking in a cemetery, but also
Why?
I was a historian in college. I was a history major, and
Right.
that does also sound amazing.
Yeah, I'm a little
I feel
skeptical. I'm not into.
I don't.
yeah.
I got to tell you, cemeteries.
We have
are
so many
fascinating.
cemeteries,
I know, I
obviously.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Queens-
yeah,
yeah,
we
we
lived
s-
through like
right.
4 of them.
Queens has Queens. Geraldine Ferraro, when she was the congresswoman from, she was based in Fort. So she once said that she had more cemeteries of any district in the U.S.
That makes
odd thing to
sense.
boast about,
Yeah,
but okay.
and everyone in the cemetery voted.
Yeah.
What a surprise!
That Queen's political machine right there, tick tick ticking away.
Along the same lines of a walking tour in Flushing, you can also take a tour of all of the sacred sites in Flushing, where they will be playing music. At
okay.
those
There's a
sites.
lot.
So-
in
Yeah,
Flushing.
there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there.
You have the Friends Meeting House.
You got the well, this one includes. It starts at the Hindu temple, which is
Right.
of course
Yes,
the
I love
oldest
that
Hindu
one.
temple.
Absolutely.
In the north.
Is that the one that Joe put in his book?
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
one with
Yeah.
the canteen and downstairs.
Okay.
The canteen
Gotcha.
in the bottom. And then you're going to be going to Muslim Society. There's a Gurdwara, a Sikh place there, and there are a couple of different Christian religion places there, and of course there's also the Free Synagogue.
Yeah.
Flushing, although I
Yeah.
don't think that's on the
That's an older building, though. I mean, it's been around for
Yeah.
quite some time.
yeah, it's a nice place.
Somebody should do that in Elmhurst.
Yeah.
There's so many churches in
You're right.
Elmhurst.
Yeah. Elmhurst has, and you know the Newtown Pippin? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah.
The Newtown Pippin is a kind of an apple, and it was
It's being brought. Oh,
Benjamin
sorry, guys.
Franklin's.
That's
Oh, is that your agent calling you?
Yeah, no,
Are you overbooked? You got to go to another podcast.
Yeah, we have like 3 dinners planned for tonight.
The Newtown Pippin, of course, was an apple that grew in the area of Elmhurst.
Yeah.
And it was
They're trying to
Benjamin Franklin's
revitalize it,
favorite.
right?
When he was an ambassador to France, in France, he used to get Newtown Pippin apples shipped to him. Anyway, I wanted to also talk about the Socrates Sculpture Park because it's getting warm. It's time to get outside.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I heard the
Some of my
80s for
favorite
this
events in that
weekend.
park.
So,
80 for
yeah.
this weekend? Well,
80s
Yeah.
for this weekend.
Does that coincide with the opening reception
Let's
for
see.
the completely outdoors show by Virginia Overton entitled "Built"?
Yeah.
It
does.
It contains the show contains refashioned found materials
That sounds cool.
addressing the issues of labor, economics, and land use.
Oh, that's great for
I
Queens.
believe
Yeah.
I saw one of the photos, and one of the photos had an old car, and I'm wondering if she moved the old car or if she took material from the old car to make it.
She assembled a car, you think?
I don't think that.
Okay.
You know,
I
if
think-
Big
and it
Reuse
says-
was still in that
she
space, I
talks
feel like she
about-
would have just like moved the car from Big Reuse. And how
She
it
talked.
would go.
She talked. It's found material. So I'm wondering if she found the car. I don't know, but
I'm sure I'll
but-
find my car.
How long does a
I need
car
it.
need
Yeah.
to be abandoned before you can just take it?
I don't know. I don't know what the. well,
I would
maybe-
say 3 of the what's those things they put on the wheels?
Oh, those
3 boots?
Yeah,
3
three
boots.
3 boots.
3
and
boots
yours.
and 4 orange "Don't park here" stickers.
Yeah.
So that is outdoors. She's gonna have pieces throughout the Socrates Sculpture Park. Beautiful afternoon. Beautiful place to check out art and also just to have fun.
Yeah.
And the water there is brackish. Did you know that? The salt
yes,
water
I think it's
from-
fairly.
Brackish, of course,
Obvious.
is a mix of saltwater and freshwater. The East River and Hudson River coming down mixes with the Long Island Sound
Sound.
right around there, and the water is brackish. There are only a few
I love that
animals-
show on Channel 7.
They're only.
You don't want to. You just don't want to go anywhere near the water, though. I mean, like you're gonna get just
No, I
too
don't
close
wanna,
to the Hell Gate. You want to.
Oh, the rapid goes around pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there aren't that many animals that can live in brackish water.
No.
So
It's like oysters and like some snails and some
probably,
fish.
probably. One other thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll I don't know,
Get
talk
back to
about
our
something more
guests, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cambalache at Flushing Town Hall again.
Killing it.
Why not?
Are you sure
got a lot
that's not
going on.
Queens Theater? No, that's Flushing Town Hall. Jarocho music. Oh, my mother,
That
my
was you.
sister's calling.
Yeah.
Jarocho music.
Doesn't she know
You
you're
can't
taping a
ignore that.
podcast?
Yeah.
If my mother calls and I ignore it,
Surprise
she's
guest
gonna kill
appearance.
me.
Son Jarocho, which is a kind of musical rhythm that is from Veracruz, Mexico. It kind of mixes the Spanish, since there was a little bit of slavery there, so there's some African influence in their music, and of course the indigenous music. This group is actually from East LA,
Oh.
and they travel all around, keeping the music going.
Your mother really wants to talk
Yeah.
to
No, that's so that's that.
you. Roberto.
Sometimes Chris has a couple things that I miss, or Chris picks, or something like that.
No, I don't have a Chris pick
All right,
this
well,
week,
that's
but
good
yeah,
because
we do have a Chris. We actually have a Chris
Ashley's
pick.
picks.
That's right. Starting.
Yeah.
Do you, what would you like to tell us? What's going on in the eating scene coming up this week and even next week after that?
So many things are happening.
That's
in the
okay.
spring, like there's like street fairs like every weekend.
That's great.
This last weekend we went to 2. We went to the Japan Fest, and I went to the Thai New Year street fair also in Elmhurst.
no
So like
kidding.
every weekend, you just got to figure, Facebook. That's how you find out about all those things.
Yeah.
So what's coming up? Don't you have
But
an
we
event?
have an event coming
Oh,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk
we
about
do.
that.
Hey,
Let's get
you have
that.
a
Who would have
thing.
thought
We
that
have
they
a
wanted to come
thing.
Give them that.
basically
It's in
and-
Queens
No,
Bump.
we did events the first year we did QueensEats, and of course you kind of, as non-event planners, you figure out how difficult it is to do it.
It's not easy.
It's very
It's
quickly
very
out of
hard
hand.
to. It gets out of hand.
Well, you
It's-
know what it's like, cooking dinner for 4 friends.
Yeah.
When you're doing something for,
And before we always capped it at like 45 people, but this time we're capping it at 100.
Nice.
So what's going
What's
on?
the venue?
What's it
So
called?
we are doing like a QueensEats meetup at the Lowry.
Okay.
Not
Which
this
is
coming.
43rd and 43rd.
43rd
The
and
Holy
43rd,
Corner.
yeah. Super
43rd
easy to
Street,
remember.
43rd Avenue in Sunnyside.
Nice.
So
It's a special feel there.
yeah, so it's from 5:30 to 8:30. Not this coming Thursday, but Thursday, May 10th.
Thursday, May 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of just we're trying to do this to kind of give back to people who've been following us for so long. We've had kind of a little bit of a rough year with QueensEats because at some point during this year we were impersonated by
There was some drama.
this man online.
No
who-
kidding. Are you kidding me?
We had to have Instagram like shut him down.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
It was
A
nasty and
Queen's, a
unpleasant.
QueenSeats imposter.
Right.
Yeah,
Imposter.
imposter.
Wow.
Wow.
Queen's cushions.
Yeah,
So
he was
this
like,
is-
well, I think it was obvious to us that it wasn't us, like obvious to other people who follow us a lot, it wasn't us because he was reaching out to restaurants and asking for free things.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah, there it is.
But
Wow.
the restaurants
There it
didn't know
is.
it wasn't us.
Right.
So
Right.
we had
Jeez.
to like send like a lot of apology emails
Yeah.
afterwards
Oh
and be
my
like,
God.
sorry, that was not us.
So what?
That
so
actually
is this
happens more than
the
you
people,
think. It happened.
It happens all
it
the
happened
time.
in my job with a guy who was calling places,
it's-
said he
it's-
worked for the
yeah.
Daily News, and he didn't work for.
Yeah.
the Daily
Yeah,
News.
so we're
that's
trying to
crazy.
like we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what to do to prevent that in the future because
Sure.
you can't. It's very hard to get verified by Instagram.
Oh, is that
Get
right?
that little check mark.
Yeah.
That's for.
But that's
like,
the only thing that would like
big-
really prevent it from happening again. But we
Right.
have like we have the copyright and everything on
Okay.
QueensEats, so it's not like a huge deal.
So
But
the event
So
is,
this event is okay.
Kinda-
First of all, it's May 10th. Second
Right.
of all, it's Lowry's at 43rd and 43rd.
Yeah.
Time is 6:00.
100 people.
Yeah.
You pay to get
5:30.
in.
tickets
okay.
are $30.
Tickets are $30.
Right.
And what
And
do you
that
get
gets
for those
you
$30?
a drink, past hors d'oeuvres, and also entry into our raffle. And we have like really great raffle things. Forest Hill Stadium.
Nice.
Queens.
it was
Yeah.
it was super funny. We had this idea. We talked with Ann at the Lowry, and she was super into the idea, and just
It's basically just a big party to thank
came
people.
up with the idea. Maybe we do a raffle because otherwise it's just we're just hanging out and doing whatever.
Drinking.
Yeah.
We
Which I
put
have
it
no
out
problem
there.
with.
Does anyone want to maybe do a raffle thing? And so many people just
Yeah, we
jumped
got
on
a
it.
taco tasting at Gordo's Cantina in LIC. When Arepa Lady reopens, they're doing a dinner for two.
Does she have a spot picked
They
out?
do.
Oh,
They're
good.
moving
That's
to the Old City
fantastic.
Coffee
Rape
spot.
Lady's a great Colombian.
Oh, my
restaurant.
God.
That
Yeah.
was
That's
in
a classic.
Jackson
It
Heights,
was a
but now
it was a
we're
cart when
relocated.
I was growing
Yeah,
up.
they
Yeah,
were.
car.
They're going to be in
Old
Jackson
school.
Heights now, but on 37th.
Okay.
So
It was. Unfortunately, I've been there
Too much.
too much.
Your belly,
when
you
I
owe
was
your belly.
and
Yeah.
not
to
in like the
Arepa
best day. Like
Lady,
I'm like,
the Arepa
yeah,
Lady.
the Arepa, you know.
just toss the extra chicharron on top.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to
Fine.
do that. You're gonna want to do that for sure.
Where can they find out more information on this?
So you can find out more information through our Instagram page, the
Queen's Seats.
Queens Eats.
Queen's
Queens
Eats.
Eats.
Queen's Eats.
Queens Eats.
On the buy ticket, click on our
Bio, right?
and you can also find it on our Facebook page, Queens Eats. And I think and it's on Eventbrite. We're selling tickets on Eventbrite.
Okay, that works.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good platform.
It's gonna be good food,
Yeah,
good drinks,
always.
Queens themed drinks.
Queen's
Oh,
themed.
look
Oh,
at that.
good. Anything else?
I wanted to ask. You grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
So do you have a restaurant that's no longer with us that you miss
Yeah.
very very much?
So I don't think it was like a super great restaurant, but it's very nostalgic
Yeah,
for me,
exactly,
which
sure.
is my parents used to take us all to family restaurant in
Oh, in Forest
Forest
Hills.
Hills.
Yeah.
And it's like
Italian.
that white tablecloth Italian
Sure,
kind of thing.
sure.
And I just spent a lot of time there as a kid. So that's really nostalgic for me. But then the other one that's still open is Stammtisch.
Oh, sure.
Because
Yeah.
that's where my grandparents would always go after
Glendale.
like German singing things.
Myrtle.
Yeah, oh,
Glendale,
yeah.
German place.
And
Yeah.
they still don't take reservations, right? For
I
I
can't
think
remember.
they do
They
now.
got
They
great
do now?
food,
Yeah, I think
though.
they
Good
do.
schnitzel.
Their food
they
is
got great
fantastic,
schnitzel. They
you
got
know.
The
Egger
special is
schnitzel.
excellent
Yeah.
also.
And they
Yeah,
they
great
sell
beers.
beer in
And-
steins.
oh yeah, giant.
Giant steins.
Just you have to two-hand it sometimes.
We always take my grandfather back every year for his birthday.
Yeah.
Which is now increasingly more difficult because he has Alzheimer's. But that is like the thing that he always wants to do and remembers he
will
wants to do.
immediately
Yeah.
like nowhere to sit, start hitting on the waitresses.
Yeah.
and
Every
order his-
single time,
order
hitting
his
on the
check
waitresses.
tier. That's just what he wants.
Yep.
for him.
And the World Cup is coming up this summer. It's
Yeah.
in about 45
What country
days.
is it going to be in?
Russia.
Russia.
But Germany is a favorite. And if I remember correctly, 4 years ago when Germany won, didn't some Stompers give away food like the next day? Or
I think
something?
they
They went
did.
crazy. They were so happy. Or
think
free
they
beer
did.
or something.
I think they did,
were-
and also
yeah,
the other
so-
German restaurant
Where
in
was I?
Astoria
God.
also as well. I can't remember
Oh.
their name.
In Astoria?
Manor.
Not Manor. Manor
No,
Oktoberfest
like
is in
Max
Forest Hills.
something.
Oh, Max's
Oh, Max.
Bratwurst,
I think
right?
they did
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
yeah.
All right. Anything else before we sign off for an entire week?
I know. I feel like, we should do a daily show maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what?
We do the daily thing.
trying to have-
It's tiring.
It's a trip.
Yeah, no.
It's a
You know,
trip.
that's
It's a
our
trip.
second job.
Full-time
on top of our
jobs on top of a
regular
full-time job.
jobs.
Yeah, exactly right.
that we don't get paid for.
That's right.
All right. Well, a special thank you to our guests.
Yeah,
Our
thanks for
pleasure.
coming
Yeah,
in.
it was a great time.
Our special thank you to our host with the most. And an even more special thank you to you people for tuning in.
That's right.
That is all for the It's in Queens podcast from May 13th to May 19th in the year 2018. Thank you for watching, and keep it in Queens. Keep it in the borough.
That's right.
Yes.